We thought we'd reached the final straw before. We have reached it now. Nadhim Zahawi, Chancellor for 24 hours, has now written to the Prime Minister and told him to go. This is the letter that Nadhim Zahawi, the new Chancellor, has sent Boris Johnson. He says, yesterday I made clear to the Prime Minister alongside my colleagues in Number 10 there was only one direction this was going, and he should leave with dignity out of respect and in hopes he would listen to an old friend of 30 years. They've known each other a very long time. I kept this council private, although we did bring you news of it yesterday. And he says, I'm heartbroken he hasn't listened. He's now undermining the incredible achievements of this government at this late hour. And then he says the country deserves a government that is not only stable, but which acts with integrity. Prime Minister, he says, you know in your heart what the right thing to do is. Go now. So the new Chancellor says that he took the job because someone needs to step in, and he thinks that he knows that people think badly of him for doing it, but he says he defends stepping in, but he's now saying the Prime Minister needs to go for the good of the party and the country. So that is pretty stark, and I can't imagine, Kay, it will be long before we see a lectern and this all starts to come to an end.
OK, my head's spinning now. So he was Education Secretary. Then he became Chancellor. Then he went to see the Prime Minister yesterday to say that's enough. And now he's saying...
Now he's telling us that he said that's enough, and he's saying to the Prime Minister publicly, go now. This Nadhim Zahawi, when Rishi Sunak resigned on Tuesday night, kicking all this off, it was thought Nadhim Zahawi might resign as well. He took the job as Chancellor. He said... You know, he sat there in the studio with you saying, yes, I believe the Prime Minister has integrity. We've got a new exciting agenda about tax cuts. And yet 24 hours later, he's saying, actually, I've been making clear to him already that he needs to go, and this country needs a government which acts with integrity. It's suggesting that that is not currently happening. So it's Game of Thrones, isn't it? Yeah, I mean...
But those that were criticising Nadhim Zahawi for what he did, to look at the other side of the coin, he could say that he was acting with integrity because somebody has to do the job of Chancellor. Somebody has to run the government's coffers, the country's coffers.
Say that when he took the job, if that was the reason. There are all sorts of rumours that he threatened to resign if they didn't give him the job of Chancellor, denied by Nadhim Zahawi's team. And him, but still persistent reports today, suggestions that he's been planning a leadership campaign for a little while and may throw his hat into the ring. But he is now saying he's told the Prime Minister privately and is now telling him publicly to go.
OK, wow, that's a pretty bombshell,
massive,
isn't it?
In a day of big developments, that is the biggest.